Yo, Wagwan, it's that guy. Not Locks, not Nation. John Craig here on the dreadlock shit once again. Now we have been reading the comments over the past few years, and a lot of people here talking about Glock 9 and how he's wicked his dreads. And we just did a recent video on Glock 9 about 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm surprised to see such a drastic change in his hair already. So with today's video, we're going to be talking about the wicks of dreadlocks, the wicked dreadlocks that Glock 9 has just put in his head. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed, because this is Not Nation. Let's go. And the song in the intro video, in case anybody is wondering, is called Dreader Than Dread, featuring The Architect. And there's a French name in that as well. I don't know offhand right now, but Dreader Than Dread. Really great song. Shout out to PG, who helped make that intro, and he chose that song as well. What I was gonna say is that wicks are becoming more popular than ever these days. Have you noticed this? Especially down in Florida, this is where the wick movement is really taking foothold on the industry, and I'm loving seeing people embracing thicker dreads, combining their locks up, because up until recently, my thread is actually needs to be wrapping. Now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of loose, but now that I'm realizing people want thick dreads, and over the years it's always been thin dreads people have been sought after. People thinking that thin dreads look more neat and professional, when really, like, a dread is a dread. It doesn't matter if they're thick or they're thin, they're still dreads. So it's cool to see more professionals going with the thicker dreads, and that's why I'm going with thicker dreads these days too. I just really want to get them as thick as possible, really. So I'm gonna have to rewrap this one for the next little bit. So anyways, I'm gonna hop right into Glock 9. Glock 9 on Instagram, because this is where we kind of left off. I'm just going to show you what his hair is like now. Boom. This is what Glock 9 has done to his hair more recently, because in the last dreadlock video, his hair was more standing on top. Still in the freeform afro kind of stage, but now since he's done this wick to them, they've dropped down significantly, and you can see that he's wicked his hair into basically 4 big ass dreads. And here what we're looking at is the wick itself. You can see how it's bent now coming down, and a lot of his hair at the tips were like finger locks, finger congos, and now they're just joined up. So there are people that do this for a living, like the wick lady. She will use a crochet hook to keep them in this motion. Some people will be using thread to sew them in place. Some people use rubber bands. Some people use strings to do it, like myself here. Essentially, he's probably got either the thread or the crochet to get them like this. Notice the new growth is still pretty untouched. It's not tight to the scalp or anything. And it's gonna look pretty cool with just 4 big dreads, actually. I'm really hyped to see that he's taken this route. It's pretty unique getting wicks done like this, congoed up. He definitely sets himself apart from other dreadheads. And for the finger locks at the end, these can close up. If you wanted to, you could crochet them, you could wrap them, you could blunt tip them, palm rolling them like this would get them to blunt up as well, or you could just leave them like that. And looking at this photo here, you can see the dreads now falling in front of his face, which is much different than what we were seeing even in his most latest music video. I'm watching the KSI interview right now. Speaking of which, you know, KSI having some pretty epic freeform locks these days. I will do an update video on KSI's dreads really soon. He is one of my favorite YouTubers ever, to be honest. I've been watching his shit for the last 10 years since he started on the channel. So it's cool to see his dreads going there. We look at the Glock 9 YouTube channel real quick. You remember this video that I just did a review on. You can see how his locks are mad different even just from here, and you can kind of see how the congos and the wicks have come about, where it's kind of sectioned off as 1 dread, 2 dread, 3 dread, 4 dread. So they look really different since the last few weeks when we made this video reviewing Glock 9's dreads. Just recently in his latest music video. So it's cool to see where he's come from. And even, you know, a few weeks ago when you had these free forms like this, it was kind of turning out like the Weeknd here at the front, and the top was very flat. So it already kind of started to drop a little bit, but now that he's got the wicks put in, they've dropped fully. So definitely cool to see how Glock 9 has made his dreads bigger. You can see a photo here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe more than 4 dreads that he's got going on, but they have dropped so fast within the past couple of weeks. This photo being very interesting because of his merch he's got on his head. Reminds me of the Not Nation bandana that I just had made. But his has, you know, still Glockin on there. And you can wear them like this where, you know, it's kind of like a wrap, a dread wrap that the Rastas wear, but the top is open so you can let the dreads free out from the top. But this is pretty cool, actually. I wonder where I can get that merch from on his behalf, because it does look pretty dope. It does look pretty dope. You can see here like more of the beginning stages of when the wicks were put in. There is actually a rubber band up here just from a week ago. You can see the rubber band up top. Front taper in big effect here. Definitely all lined up to make it look neat. So he might have actually started these wicks with the rubber bands. It seems like it might have started with the rubber bands. Real quick, I'm gonna show you real quick, if you guys head over to the Not Nation store, you can see the Not Nation bandanas that I have, similar to what Glock 9 is wearing in that picture. It's like a tube sleeve type, so you can definitely add one of those to your cart today. And we also got the swim shower cap, keeping your dreads dry in any water situation. I love using these for the shower, essentially. And when I do decide to go under the water and I don't want to really get my head wet in a pool or the ocean or whatever, I wear these and they work fantastic. So definitely shout outs and stop by the shop today if you can. Yes. So Glock 9, you know, rocking those Florida locks like no tomorrow. Big fan of the wicks. Happy to see more and more people, younger people, getting the thicker Bob Marley dreads these days. I mean, Bob Marley really the truest inspiration in the dreadlock community and the dreadlock culture. So why wouldn't we want big locks like Bob, right? Leave me a comment down below. Who's your biggest inspiration in the dreadlock community? Let me know what you guys think of Glock 9's new wicks, and I'll definitely be replying and reading those comments. So I'm gonna end this video here. I appreciate you guys stopping by here each and every single day. I love your faces. I love your dreads. Keep on posting, keep on commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. One love. Stay happy and natty, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gone. Adios, amigos.
Madder than, sicker than them. Madder than, sicker than them. Dreader than dread, dreader than dread. Yeah, but look at me tell them say, yo, say what? We rise